first thing that I wanted to inform is that in coordination with the Narcotics Control Bureau, Government of India, the Nagaland Police is organizing a 2-day conference of the Anti-Narcotics Task Forces of all the Northeast states and West Bengal and Sikkim on 13th and 14th of November at Chümoukedima. Senior officers of Government of India were expected to attend, including the Union Home Secretary. However, because of the situation after the blast yesterday, he's preoccupied in Delhi, so he may not be attending. But Director of the Narcotics Control Bureau, Special DGP of CRTR, and IG rank officers of Northeast states will be attending this conference. During this conference, we hope that the Anti-Narcotic Task Forces of the Northeast states will be able to deliberate on the problem of narcotics facing Northeast and from Northeast to the rest of the country, and come up with a set of solutions and suggestions for implementation within the Northeast, and also make some suggestions or recommendations to Government of India so that the war against drugs can be successfully fought. I hope we will be able to invite the media based in Dimapur, or if any one of you wants to come for the inaugural session in Chümoukedima tomorrow. So please note that we will circulate a formal request by the evening today. The second issue which I wanted to update the media was on the recruitment to Nagaland Police. As you are all aware, as the people of Nagaland are all aware, that we opened up the portal on 6th of October 2025. The last date for submission of applications was 7th of November. Because of some administrative reasons and problems faced by some candidates who were not able to obtain the requisite documentation from the government end, like indigenous certificates and things, we thought that it is fair on our part to extend the last date for submission of applications for the recruitment process. So therefore, the government extended the last date for acceptance of applications by 15 days. You would have all witnessed regular updates from the police headquarters on the Nagaland Police website and also on the print media platforms in Nagaland about the number of candidates who have applied for the posts every day. Now we are giving two subcategories there. One is the number of people who have registered, and the second is the number of people who have paid the fees. Registration is free of cost. It is a one-time registration. So if you register on the portal once, that registration is valid for all future recruitments. If you want to change anything, you can change in that. Say for example, today you are class 10 pass, tomorrow you get another additional degree, you can add next year. But we are mentioning the fees, about the fees, that 300 rupees has to be paid, because without payment of the fees, you are not eligible for the exam. Okay, so that is why we have been mentioning about the fees every day, so that anyone who has one-time registration should not think that he is automatically eligible for the exam. Unless he has paid the fees, he is not eligible for the exam. The application is only complete and your eligibility is only complete if you have paid the 300 rupees fees. So it is my request to all candidates who have gone through the process and who intend to appear in the exam process, recruitment process, that if you have not paid the fees, please do pay the fees. In this connection, it is slightly disturbing for all of us to note that people are just thinking and counting the money which is involved, saying 32,000 hoise 300 para multiply korle iman paisa ho jabo, iman paisa ho jabo, koch jabo paisa. Where will this money go? I can honestly tell you that even your submission of online applications and creating of the portal is not free. It costs a lot of money. I think it cost us almost 40 lakh rupees for just creation of the portal. And at every stage of the application process, you are receiving either an OTP or an SMS update about the form. All of this costs money. Okay. Besides this, now I'm not trying to protect myself or being defensive, but I'm just giving a comparative comparative thing for the recruitment processes. For the NPSC and the NSSP exams also, the recruitment fees or the application fees is 300 rupees. That process is purely a two-step process, which is written exam and the interview. In the police recruitment, it is a 3-phase examination, which is a physical, a written, and followed by an interview. All of this costs money. You would all agree with me that only the physical part being included for 32,000 candidates costs a lot of money. So my request to anyone who has been critical of us without knowledge of how the process goes should probably consider twice before writing all these things. But on a happier note, I can tell you that this online acceptance of forms has saved a lot of hardship to the ordinary man, the ordinary candidate. People who would have had to travel from far away places like Longwa or say in Tening or somewhere to pick up the form, go back, fill up the form, resubmit the form. Each one of them would have spent almost, and maybe 2 days staying in Kohima, traveling up, down. They would have spent 5,000-6,000 rupees per applicant. Nobody considers that we have been helping people by saving money. People are just interested in criticizing us for the 300 rupees which is being paid, which I think will be used very judiciously. There is just a possibility that we may run short of funds. So those who are critical of us that we are asking for 300, please think twice before. If you don't know the entire process, you don't know how the expenditure will take place. It is just better to ask someone who's aware. These are the two things that I wanted to brief you about. And even in the recruitment process, we have to spend money. We have already had to cut corners. A single chest badge, which was costing 70-80 rupees in the market, we have made it in-house through our family welfare thing, which is costing us only about 7-8 rupees. We know how we are spending the money judiciously. You can help us by suggesting us how to do it, but please don't be critical without a reason. Coming back to the Anti-Narcotics Task Force conferences, the entire country has adopted this mission of Nasha Mukt Bharat. I think this conference in the Northeast for the Northeast states, Sikkim and West Bengal, is the first of its kind in the entire country, first regional conference of its kind in the country. We hope it will be successful. We will share important updates from the conference with you in due course, including whatever recommendations or something that we come up with. If each interview takes about 10 minutes, the interview process itself will take almost 10, 12, 15 days in some places. The teams which are there, the support staff which are there, their logistics and all, it all costs money, including the physical thing, it costs money. So I think it's good to be critical, but it is good if you are critical. It is not good if you are critical without a reason. Any other?
What are some important agendas or topics besides the fees which you can discuss?
So essentially, all the states will be giving an update of what they are doing. All the states will be sharing their best practices and achievements. all the states will be sharing the problems that they face during investigation or combating the war against drugs. Then we will try to come up with a set of recommendations or suggestions for the government of India, where we expect help from the government of India to help all the states in the northeast. And it is not just going to be confined to. The primary focus is on supply reduction, which is on investigation and law enforcement. But it is also going to include sessions on other things like rehabilitation, de-addiction, the demand reduction part, and other things also are going to be there. Okay, we have already got a forensic lab. The way Nagaland Police is structured and the way Nagaland Police has evolved over a period of, say, last 45 years, 50 years. As I've always been saying, our focus has more been on the armed police component rather than on the DEF and the investigations component. Now, the forensic work comes in when we have a focus on investigation related work. Okay, so our focus on investigation related work and DF related work is just coming in now. I'm not saying my predecessor have not done anything, but it is just an evolving thing where the focus has just started coming up now. Because of the less requirements or expectations from the forensic labs in the past, we were able to manage by sending samples to the nearby states or to Guwahati or Imphal or maybe some other places. So we were like decently placed, but with the new demands, there are more requirements of forensics. And after the new criminal laws have been introduced, there is a mandatory requirement for a visit of a forensic team to a scene of crime where the offenses are punishable with more than 7 years. Okay, so in this particular case of murder where this demand started coming up, and also that old Pimla murder case, now there is a mandatory visit required by a forensic team. But our forensic capabilities and forensic teams are only based in Dimapur. So imagine if something bad was to go to happen in, say, Noklak, there is no option. The team would have to be informed and then would have to travel. So that time will get taken. Okay, but we are aware of this. We are aware of this situation. We are going to send some proposals to the Nagaland government where to enable timely visits to the spots by the forensic teams, we should be able to place some people in the individual districts so that the time can be cut short. But this is a work in progress. It will take some time. It is not going to happen today. Till that time, we'll have to make do with what is happening. Now, on the issue of setting up a forensic lab in Delhi, in, say, Kohima or any other part of the state, our total workload of investigation cases is about 1200 to 1300 cases per annum. Right, Sandeep? 1200 to 1300 cases per annum, out of which almost 40%, 50% would not require a forensic visit. In the sense, will be less than 7 years. Okay, it is not mandatory. You may visit, you may not visit, but it is not mandatory. And for 600 to 700 odd cases, Dimapur lab is decently placed. Okay, so I'm not saying it is not required. We may require manpower or some other facilities in a different format. The current facilities in Dimapur are, I'm not saying we are very satisfactorily placed, but we are decently placed where we can manage the workload of the work there. But we will plan ahead and we will try to move ahead in the future, whatever is required. The solution is not setting up of new, fresh labs, but by providing mobility and decentralizing some of the manpower and resources so that the visits can take place faster. So we will work on that in that direction.